What's up? What's up? What's up? Made from Basic Black. How's it going? Hope everybody's doing okay. Hope you're keeping safe. Today, I am going to talk about what is coming up in the new year as far as movies and television. But I think with the list that I got from IMDb, I think I'm covering mostly movies. And wow, it's a long list. And I think I got down like I saw about 32, and that was just what was going to be released from like January to June. So there's a lot.
Hello, friends. Welcome to Unbasic Black. Today we are talking about upcoming movies for 2022. There are quite a few on this list, so we are going to take a look at some of the most anticipated ones for us. Ones that we're looking forward to seeing, ones that are just kind of like, what the heck were they thinking, making that into a movie? And off we go. So one of the first of that's expected to come out around the summer of 2022 is Lightyear. I am a huge Toy Story fan, and I was a little confused when I first saw that they were making this into a movie, because it's kind of like, are they going to take it from the story arc of Buzz Lightyear, how he is unsure that he is real or a cartoon? Or are they going to take it from the character Buzz Lightyear's perspective in terms of being the action figure, cartoon, etc.? So it looks like that's the direction that they're going in. So we will be watching, very similar to what Andy was watching on TV, we will be watching the Buzz Lightyear series as well. So I thought that was kind of interesting. The trailer actually did look pretty good, so I am interested to see where they go with this. So that's a pretty good one.
So the first one that popped up was Lightyear, as in Buzz Lightyear. I don't care that I'm almost 51. I liked the Toy Story movies, even the last one. And that they made a Lightyear movie, like a whole story about the premise of a toy. I'm excited. I'm excited. Now that one I did get the dates for. That's coming out in June. So I'm excited about that one. And then the Batman. Been waiting for this. Feels like forever. But it's probably only been 2 or 3 years. But this is the one with Robert Pattinson. And I know that he bulked up. Yay! I'm so glad. He was skinny. But he's looking good. He's been working out. Well, at least for the movie. I don't know if he still looks like that because they're in post-production right now. So, but yeah, I'm excited about the Batman. I'm curious more than excited. Curious enough to kind of give me some excitement because I really want to see how he did. For those of you young enough or who have bothered to go back to the first Batman movie, I'm trying to remember. I don't think that the TV show Batman did a movie. So I'm going to say the first Batman movie, the one that came out in 89, I want to say. Michael Keaton. I was not looking forward to that when I heard he was going to play Batman, because I'm like, because he was funny. He was a funny guy. And I was like, yeah, he's not going to pull this off. And man, did he pull this off? He set the bar high. High. And the only person, since all that string of Batmans that they went through, the only person I think measured up to what I know of Batman, and you can argue with me if you want to, but I'm going to say Ben Affleck. He nailed it. That whole broody, like the world is awful thing, but I'm going to do my best to do something about it, even though I know it's pointless. That look, he nailed it. He nailed it. Ooh, and the way he pulled off his wealth was like, yeah, I'm rich. It's that's my superpower. I'm rich. Love it. So we'll see how Pattinson does. I know he can master the broody look. My guilty pleasure was Twilight. So yeah, he can master broody. So we'll see how he does as far as action and things like that. Because I don't know if you really want to count that the action scenes in Twilight. Okay.
Now, another one that's coming on the horizon that I am just like, seriously, and that's Batman. So Robert Pattinson is set to lead this next series of Batman movies. I remember him from Harry Potter. I remember him from Twilight, and I didn't like him in either series. So to hear that he was going to play the Batman, it's kind of like, I think they're trying to appeal to another demographic, maybe trying to appeal to possibly even a younger audience. I'm not sure what they were thinking with that casting choice. I don't think that he needs to be a tough guy, right? I'm not saying that at all. But when you look at the character of Batman, the embodiment of Bruce Wayne, you need to have a certain level of dangerousness mixed with debonair, suave, smooth, right? And I don't see that in Robert Pattinson. Do you remember when they cast Hayden Christensen to play Anakin Skywalker? That's how I feel about them casting Robert Pattinson to play Batman. I really think, and I hope I'm wrong, he's an actor, so maybe he can transform, but I feel that he's going to make Batman extremely whiny, because that's what Hayden Christensen did for Anakin Skywalker, and he made him extremely whiny, and that's what I see of Robert Pattinson. I think we're gonna get a whiny Batman. I hope I'm wrong. When I first saw the trailer, like, and they started, like, you know, and you see him, and I was like, oh, what's this? You know, like, what movie are they trying to do? I thought they were doing Robin. I could see him as a Robin, totally. But Batman, I'm not sure about that, so we'll see where it goes. All right. The next is House of Dragons. Oh, like, cut. The next is House of Dragons. Now, House of Dragons is going to be a spinoff from the Targaryens, I believe, from the R.R. Martin Game of Thrones books. That's what you all remember, Game of Thrones. But this particular book is from Fire and Blood. Now, it's an adaptation, so I don't know how accurate it's going to be, because I think there's going to be a ridiculously large amount that's just kind of made up because the stories have ended. And they're kind of trying to look into the history of this character where you don't have a whole lot of that. I think they're doing this in answer to Amazon doing a Lord of the Rings series. But the Lord of the Rings series actually does have some history when you look at the Silmarillion and some of the other books. But I'm not so sure that they're going to be able to capture Martin's vision from when he wrote the books. And I think they're going to lose a lot of that. And I'll give you an example. When you look at the Game of Thrones series, by the time they got to the last season, it was completely made up, which is why it wasn't as good as the previous seasons, because they were kind of going off of their own thoughts on how Game of Thrones should be. It's very difficult to capture somebody else's vision. It's very difficult to capture somebody else's dream. And even R.R. Martin said that sometimes they would consult him and sometimes they wouldn't. And they would just kind of go off, you know, whatever they thought it should be. And that's what they do. That's what happens when you sell your book rights. But so I think that we're going to see a lot of made up stuff. So I anticipate a lot of gore. I anticipate a lot of sex, a lot of unnecessary, ridiculous sex. And I anticipate some interesting special effects, though. I will give them that. I think the special effects in this thing is going to be phenomenal. It's going to be very interesting to see what they do. I'm a skeptic when it comes to new movies by nature, and a lot of things that they do nowadays just has me like gobsmacked. Like, what were they thinking? Sometimes it works out for them, and I still find myself asking that same thing. So maybe I'm just getting old. Those young whippersnappers. All right.
The Flash is coming out next year. Didn't get the date for it, but I'm glad that they're making the movie. I don't know if they're going to use the guy. I apologize. I should have looked it up, but I just know that the Flash is coming out. I hope they use the one that they've used for the Justice League. So that'd be great. I'll be interested to see how they do this story. Then it makes me wonder, do I need to go back and watch all of the Flash TV show? But I'm going to say no, because of how they did things with the movie. The movie superheroes seem to be different from the TV superheroes. So I don't know that I'm going to bother with going back and looking. We'll see. Next up, House of the Dragon. I thought it was going to be another Kung Fu movie, but no! Turns out it is a Game of Thrones movie. They go back, did they say 1,000 years? They go back 1,000 years into the House the names are hard for me to pronounce sometimes. Targaryen, something like that. White hair. They're going back into their history. So I'm excited to see what they do with that, because everything is going to be like oh! All right, Jurassic World. It's a longer title. Shucks, I'm sorry. It's a longer title. But Jurassic World is coming out. I'm glad they're not going to leave us hanging, because if you remember from the last Jurassic World movie, they got out. So, welcome to America. Black Adam. I said The Rock in my head. Dwayne's been looking forward to getting this out. He's been tweeting. He's been posting videos on Facebook. He's been talking about it. So finally, they're in post-production, and we'll be seeing that next year.
All right, moving right along. Of course, we have another Jurassic World. I have nothing to say about that. Some stuff should just end. That's all. Some stuff should just end. So we'll see what they do. John Wick 4 is another one. I am looking forward to John Wick 4, even though, again, this is an example of some things that should just end. It was perfection. There was nothing else to be said, but they're kind of carrying on the series. Now I'm kind of like, okay, you're trying to make some money off of this franchise, get it, but at the same time, don't ruin a perfectly good character, because we love John Wick. But looking forward to seeing Keanu Reeves, as always. I will watch anything he's in, so looking forward to it.
John Wick 4. If you can remember 1, and then 2, and then 3, just carnage and mayhem, and just leave the man alone. He got revenge for the dog. He got the car back so he could get the picture. Just leave him alone. He just wants to be left alone. He's done everything that he needed to do to get what he wanted. People were in the way, so now leave him alone. Thor is coming out with a new movie. Thor, Thor: Love and Thunder.
Thor's coming back. I absolutely adore Thor, but again, an example of a series that kind of should end. It was wonderful. It was beautiful. We loved it. It was magical. Now it's time to end it, right? End it on a high note. Mission Impossible 25,000 is coming out. Now I'm just naming stuff that's coming out, but let me get back to stuff that I actually want to see.
And would you believe Mission Impossible 7? 7. How many? I think this has been a 20-year franchise. 20 years. I think Fast and Furious is about as long. Oh, I'm so old. Okay. Avatar 2, finally. I think we're just gonna do the theater for that one. First time I saw it, just the oh my gosh, the wow, just ooh, just I felt like I was there. It's like, oh, it's so pretty, and wow, and so dangerous. The forest is really trying to kill him, and then the forest saved him. No, it's just so nice. Okay.
Avatar 2. I am curious to see what they do with it because, as you know, when Avatar first came out, it was like cutting edge. It was something that we had never seen before. Since then, and a lot of other critics have talked about this, but since then, there's been kind of a lot of movies that have followed Avatar in terms of the style of movie. So I'm not sure in terms of the storyline, special effects, etc., what newness James Cameron can bring to us, but I am curious to see what they do with it. And the first movie was absolutely gorgeous. So even if they can't create or recreate the spark that we got from the previous movies, I have no doubt in my mind that visually this movie will be beautiful. I believe it will be stunning. And to me, that alone is worth going to the theater to see it. So, boop, 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 boop. That Peacemaker, the spinoff thing for the Suicide Squad, I'm not looking to see that movie. I know May had mentioned that one. The first Suicide Squad got a lot of criticism, but I thought the first Suicide Squad was actually pretty good. I liked it. Second one got a lot of praise and was like, what, 90% on Rotten Tomatoes or something? I watched Suicide Squad 2 and I was like, what am I watching? It was completely unnecessary. It was an unnecessary movie. And I don't know if that's the reason Will Smith did not do it, but I kind of understand why he didn't. If that's the reason, because it was stupid. I'm sorry, but it was a stupid movie. I know some people liked it and it got some criticism, some praise and all these other things, but I thought that movie was stupid. So a spinoff of Stupid, pass.
Probably only because the lead's character's name is my namesake. So, I don't care. Transylvania 2, Transformania. So, I'm excited to see what they do with that. I'm sorry, Hotel Transylvania, not Transylvania, Hotel Transylvania 2. Hotel Transylvania, Transformania. I'm excited. I want to see what's going to happen. Peacemaker. This is a spin-off from... not Doom Patrol, from, it'll come to me, Suicide Squad. In the last Suicide Squad movie, he was in it, and I'm spacing what happened to him, because Peacemaker now has his own show. It's a show. He has his own show. Lord of the Rings, that's going to be a series. That's coming out, and they are going... I think this is 1,000 years as well. They're going 1,000 years in the past. So way before The Hobbit. And we know that they can do that because in Fellowship of the Rings, they showed that everything that led up to Frodo getting the ring started when Elrond, Angel will correct me, when Elrond was younger.
All right. The Lord of the Rings TV show, yes. I am looking forward to it, but I am afraid because a lot of times once someone else tries to embody the vision of what they think something should be, they end up screwing it up. And I really hope they don't do that with Lord of the Rings because the material is there. Just follow the material and you'll be fine. Don't go off like you did with The Hobbit and try to do your own thing because you end up messing it up. Again, when you have something that's so iconic and has such lore behind it, you cannot just wing it. You cannot just try to do your own thing. Consult with the nerds. Okay, the nerds will steer you right. You know, we can tell you no, that in a million years would never happen because one of the things that I heard, and you know, we haven't gotten a whole lot in terms of information, but one of the things that I heard was there were some flaws with the timeline, and that alone has me very, very worried because us nerds who really know Lord of the Rings are going to be really looking at this thing going, yeah, that did not happen until such and such age, you know. And it's going to be very interesting to see how they do that, because you're dealing with hundreds and, you know, if not thousands of years of history that they're trying to create a TV show off of. And I'm really worried on how they're going to do it, because I don't know who they consulted, right? We don't know who the consultants were, if they had any, or if they were just like, you know, I think we'll make a Lord of the Rings TV show, and then off they go, right? So I am really, really hoping that they don't do what they do to a lot of things and add a bunch of unnecessary gore, add a bunch of, you know, Game of Thrones style, you know, hacking people to pieces, and a whole bunch of unnecessary sex scenes, which is some buzz that we've been hearing as well. I hope they don't do that to Lord of the Rings, because that is a series, or a series of books that were very specific, right? The writer of the Lord of the Rings was very serious. Tolkien was, when I say serious, in terms of like his values and his morals and his beliefs. And he made those very clear, and you can see them in the Lord of the Rings books. So it's going to be so important to me that they don't do what they usually do. I hope they don't try to make it another Game of Thrones, because Game of Thrones was so successful for some of those elements. But that's why people had that choice. If you don't like all of that crap, you had Lord of the Rings, right? You had Lord of the Rings. But if you do want some gore and sex and all of this, then you had Game of Thrones. So I hope that they don't try to do that.
Knives Out 2. I enjoyed Knives Out 1. CinemaSins ripped it apart. It was hilarious. But I enjoyed Knives Out, the first one. Morbius. Oh, I've been looking forward to that. My son knows all about him, so I got to learn a lot about who Morbius is. And so I'm just really, really excited. Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. Love the Doctor Strange movies. I like Benedict Cumberbatch. Who doesn't? The man is just... Anyway.
Again, an example of something that should just end. May mentioned a whole lot of these other ones that I'm not going to mention. Like I said, I'm just going to try and mention the ones that I'm interested in seeing. So Doctor Strange, of course, Benedict Cumberbatch. I love him so much. If he wasn't married already, I'd be stalking him in London. That's how much I love Benedict Cumberbatch. So I am looking forward to see him act as Doctor Strange, because he did a great job as Doctor Strange. Now, what they're going to do with it, I'm not sure, because the title is Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. Ooh, what could they possibly do with that? So I think it's going to be a complete mind freak for us. So we'll see.
I will say that I liked Bumblebee. I liked his movie. I did not necessarily care for the last Transformers movie. I feel like, because I grew up watching the cartoon, so my whole brain, especially with cartoons and comic books, it's been done. You have the script. You have the storyboard. You don't need to make up anything else. Just use what you have. But these guys with their visions, and like, I see it this way. No! I don't care! Just don't jack it up. Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom. I hope he feels better. He ended up getting COVID. That's sad. There's something called Nope. I have no details on that whatsoever. All it said was Jordan Peele is directing, he wrote it, and all that kind of thing. So I did not see the last super scary movie he did, and forgive me, I'm spacing that super scary movie. All I know is that something about duplicates and just and the trailers just freaked me the blank out. Ugh. So, but I did see Get Out, and that was good. The mind. So, okay. And then The last thing I wrote down was Spider-Man Lotus. Don't know anything about it. Don't care. I like Spider-Man movies. I'm going to see. I loved it with Tobey Maguire. I thought he did a great job. And the new guy, and forgive me, I'm spacing his name too. It's a lot. It's a lot to keep up with. So, I ran long. I apologize. So, those are the ones. That's just the beginning of the list. That I didn't even go to, like, I think I went a little bit into page 2, and that was like going through 35, and I didn't put down everything that's coming out. It's a lot coming out next year. So these are the ones that I'm looking forward to seeing, and either spending my money at the theater or continuing to pay for this expensive behind the internet at home. All right, you guys take care, be safe, and I'm BasicBlack.com. LexiJewelry.com. All right, be good. But he is Jason Momoa. So, Black Panther, Wakanda Forever. They are going to do something different with this. So I'm not sure. The writers have to be on point. They have the same director, so I'm excited about that. He did such a great job with the first Black Panther movie. So this storyline is going to go more into, I hate to say support staff, but everybody behind T'Challa. And according to what according to what I saw, and these are all speculations, Disney is not planning to, Disney / Marvel / all the other things that they brought up are not wanting to replace T'Challa just yet. They're not ready for that yet. So we may not even see who may or may not be the new T'Challa. So I'm interested to see how that's going to work out. But either way, Wakanda.
A couple of other ones I'm not interested in. Transformers, pass. Aquaman, pass. Didn't like the first Aquaman. Love Jason Momoa, don't get me wrong. The movie was stupid. Black Panther, Wakanda Forever. Jordan Peele has a movie coming out, and then there's another Spider-Man movie coming out. Jordan Peele, love him. I'm always interested to see what he does just because he's such a phenomenal writer. Not that I'm necessarily interested, but I am interested to see what he does, so I guess I am interested. Spider-Man, again, I'm not too excited about Spider-Mans anymore, but just because there's like so many and so many different verses and I'm just over it at this point. But Black Panther, I want to circle back to that because that's the last one I'm going to talk about. I respect and love that they did not recast T'Challa. I'm very glad that they did not do that. I think it's too soon, and I think the success of the first Black Panther movie and then the tragic loss of Chadwick Boseman would be too much for us to take. For me in particular, that would be way too much for me to take. When I heard that, because it was already scheduled to be made, so I understand why they're keeping with the schedule and they're going ahead. But when I heard that they were starting production and all of this other stuff, it made me so upset. But then they said, well, no, we're not recasting T'Challa. We're taking it in another direction. But that has me worried. But I want to support the director because he is in a really bad position to be in, because on one side you don't want to screw up Black Panther because it means so much to so many people for so many different reasons. Then on the other side of that, you have Hollywood and you have producers and you have, money people who are behind you screaming, going, hey, make this movie. Come on, let's go. So I'm pretty sure he's under a lot of pressure because he wants to represent, and he came hard before. He came real hard. So I know he's probably under a lot of pressure. So I definitely will support the movie. I definitely will go see the movie in theaters, probably buy it on, iTunes, whenever it comes out, and do my best to support. I just hope that he is able to really do a good job with Wakanda Forever, because that statement alone is as iconic and means as much to people of color around the world, in particular Black people around the world, because even though it was created by a white guy, it was for Black people. It gave us something. And then flash forward all of these years later in modern times, and now you see how important having that representation has been for Black people. It is extremely important. So I'm looking forward to Black Panther Wakanda Forever. And I hope that you all will support it as well.
You guys take care, be safe, and basicblack.com, LexiJewelry.com. All right, be good.
Right? So please like, comment, tell us what you guys think. If there are any movies that you guys were looking forward to, tell us what you think about some of the ones that we mentioned and some of the comments that we made about them. And or just say hi. We like that too. So thanks for watching. I am Angel with Unbasic Black. www.unbasicblack.com. Oh yes, one last thing. I want to thank Alexei Jewelry always for providing such beautiful pieces for us to use during our broadcasts. This is a piece that she made. Little Paris theme going on, which I love. Ooh la la. But thanks for watching, and thanks for supporting Unbasic Black. Have a great week.